She said she needed a break, left me with a short text that cut my heart like a knife. Then I saw her stories, tanned, cocktail in hand, in another guy's arms, like I was just a shadow, a backup on a leash. She wanted freedom? I gave it to her. Yo, I'm Jake, 30 years old, and about 3 weeks ago, my girlfriend Sarah, who's 27, sent me a text that flipped my whole world upside down. We'd been together for almost 2 years, living in my apartment in Capitol Hill, Seattle for the last one. It's a dope spot. Big windows, view of Puget Sound, coffee shops buzzing on every corner. I thought we had it all figured out. We were making plans, you know? I wanted to take her to Iceland to see glaciers and geysers. She was all about Paris, snapping pics of the Eiffel Tower for her Instagram. We'd joke about names for the dog we were gonna get. She was set on a lab named Oscar. I was pushing for a border collie called Code, 'cause I'm a programmer. We even talked about renting a little place in Tuscany someday, sipping Chianti, laughing about how she couldn't cook pasta to save her life. Her cooking skills stopped at avocado toast. But the last few months, something shifted, like a shadow creeping in, and I didn't want to see it growing. Sarah was this vibrant, charismatic chick, always the life of the party. Her job, social media marketing, was her whole deal. Always on calls, always hustling, laptop and phone loaded with stories, posts, and client messages. She made content for local brands, from trendy coffee shops to eco-candle startups. I loved her energy, how she could charm anyone. But lately, she got distant. Fewer chats over dinner, vague answers, long hours at work. She'd come home late talking about client meetings, then dive right into her phone. I'd ask, "You good?" She'd flash a smile, say, "Just stressed, Jake. You know how it is." I didn't push. I chalked it up to her career, marketing in Seattle's cutthroat, especially for freelancers. But there were signs I ignored like an idiot. Her hiding her phone when I walked in, dodging questions about weekend plans, mentioning her ex, Ethan, more often in random convos. Ethan posted a sick drone video, or Ethan said Hawaii's a dream. I didn't think much of it, figured they were just friends. She'd say, "He's ancient history, Jake, don't worry." Man, was I naive. That Tuesday night started normal. I was at the stove in our kitchen, grilling burgers with caramelized onions and cheddar, humming to some indie rock on the radio. Classic Seattle vibe, where Nirvana and Fleet Foxes are basically the soundtrack of life. The apartment smelled like sizzling meat, spices, and coffee from the old French press we got at a Fremont flea market. I was waiting for Sarah to roll in from another meeting, ready to sit down, maybe hear about her day, or watch her scroll Instagram, showing me ideas for her content. Then my phone pinged. I glanced at it, expecting something basic. Maybe she's running late or wants me to grab something from Whole Foods. Nope. Her text hit like a gut punch. "Jake, I'm overwhelmed. I need a break to figure myself out. Please don't text. I'll reach out when I'm ready." I froze, spatula in hand, burgers sizzling. Read the text 10 times, trying to make sense of it. Overwhelmed. A break. What the hell? My heart started pounding, my brain spinning with questions. What did I do wrong? Was it me? Did I push her too hard? I always tried to be supportive, give her space, not mess with her work. But that text, it felt like a death sentence, cold and final. I turned off the stove, sat on the couch, staring at the screen. Wanted to call, text, ask what was going on, but her "don't text" stopped me. I didn't want to be that clingy dude making a scene. I wanted to be chill, give her space. So I replied, "Okay, Sarah, take the time you need. I'm here." Hit send, feeling like something inside me got ripped out. Silence. Total, deafening silence. No reply, no call, no Sarah. I was alone in my apartment, surrounded by her stuff, Her world's best coffee mug I got her for her birthday, the blanket she'd wrap around her shoulders, her jasmine perfume in the bathroom, her sneakers by the door, her laptop on the table where she edited her stories. First couple days, I was in a fog, wandered the apartment, staring at her things, trying to figure out where I screwed up. Was I too caught up in work? I'm a programmer, sometimes burning the midnight oil on startup projects, but she always said she liked my passion. Maybe I missed her signals. Questions swirled, but no answers. I held off texting or calling, respecting her request. Work saved me. I dove into fixing a bug for a startup building an eco-delivery app. Code was easier than the void in my chest. Evenings, though, the silence was brutal. I'd sit on the couch, staring at the ceiling, replaying every convo from the last few months. Were there clues? Hell yeah. How she brushed off questions about her plans. How she kept bringing up Ethan. How a couple months back, I saw her snap her phone shut when I walked into the kitchen. I'd joked, "What, planning world domination?" She laughed, said, "Yup, I'm a spy, Jake." I bought it. So damn blind. I remembered her talking about Ethan, her ex from before we met. She'd called him too selfish, said he wasn't into serious relationships, but lately his name kept popping up. Travel talk, drones, Hawaii. I didn't make a thing of it. Thought it was just friendly chat. She swore he was history. So naive. Friday night, I cracked. Sat on the couch with a Fremont Brewing IPA, our weekend go-to, sipping on the balcony, watching Seattle's lights. Opened Instagram to zone out, scrolling memes, cat videos, anything to drown the emptiness. Then I saw a story from our mutual friend Matt, a college buddy from UW. He tagged Sarah. I clicked, expecting something chill. Maybe her with friends at a Belltown bar, sipping a craft cocktail with some hip name like Northwest Sunset. But the image hit like lightning. Bright sun, turquoise ocean, palm trees, white sand. Sarah, in a bright bikini, cocktail in hand, beaming, arm around Ethan, her 29-year-old ex. The one she swore was in the past. They were pressed close, sunset sky behind them, palms swaying. Caption: Best Life, Hawaii Reunion. My heart plummeted. I swiped through the stories, hoping it was a mistake. But every pic, Sarah and Ethan laughing, hugging, dancing on the beach, sipping drinks by a pool on a boat, drove the knife deeper. This wasn't a break. This wasn't figuring herself out. This was betrayal, cold and calculated. She jetted off for a romantic getaway with her ex while I sat in our apartment, respecting her don't text request. She kept me on the back burner, using my place, my resources, my support as a safety net while she tested old flames with Ethan. Pain turned to crystal clear rage. This wasn't just cheating. It was a plan, and I was the pawn. I closed the app, set the phone down, sat on the couch, staring into space. My chest burned, like someone poured gasoline and lit a match. I remembered us on that same couch, planning a Lake Tahoe trip, laughing when she spilled wine on the rug, scrubbing it for hours, cracking up. Her hugging me when I got a promotion, dancing in the kitchen to Radiohead, saying, "You're the best, Jake. I'm so happy with you." How was I so blind? But anger started drowning the hurt. She thought she could play me, keep me on the hook while she partied. Not this time, Sarah. I got up, paced the apartment, rain tapping the windows, Seattle gray and cold outside. But inside, a fire sparked. She wanted a break? Freedom? Fine, she'd get it. On my terms. Saturday morning, I called a locksmith I found on Yelp. A local dude named Mike with tattoos, and a voice like he'd spent his life in Seattle's port bars. By noon, new locks were on. $250, but worth every penny for peace of mind. Her key was now a useless chunk of metal. I pictured her coming back, all confident with her tan and cocktail stories, and her face when the key didn't work. That thought brought a weird, almost smug satisfaction. But I didn't want to be petty. I wanted to be smart, strategic, not some hurt kid throwing a tantrum. Then the car. That's a whole story. 6 months ago, Sarah's old Ford Focus died for good. Battery breaks, engine issues, always something. She bitched about not being able to get to work. Client meetings, brand shoots, driving all over Seattle from Ballard coffee shops to South Lake Union studios. Her credit was trashed. Missed student loan payments, some credit card debt she mentioned vaguely as old mistakes. The bank wouldn't give her a car loan. I, like a lovesick idiot, offered to help. We went to a dealership outside Seattle, picked out a used 2018 Toyota RAV4 for $18,000. Clean, reliable, low mileage, perfect for her. I took out the loan, put the title and insurance in my name. She was supposed to pay me $300 a month to cover it. Sometimes she paid on time. Sometimes she forgot for weeks, blaming unexpected expenses or client delays. I didn't push, thinking we were a team. It'd work out. Legally, the car was 100% mine. I never added her to the title, though she acted like it was hers. Flower stickers on the back window, a unicorn air freshener, trunk full of her clothes and shoot gear. I grabbed the spare key from my desk drawer and drove to a used car lot in Tukwila, all bright signs and rows of cars. The manager, Tony, was a chill dude. Jeans, flannel, coffee in hand, total Seattle vibe. I said, "I'm the owner. Want to sell? Here's the paperwork." Showed the title, insurance, loan docs, all in my name. They checked the engine, tires, interior. Tony nodded. "Good car. We can offer $16,500 pending a full inspection and transfer. Couple days. Fair price." I signed the prelim papers, left the car, took an Uber home. Seeing her empty parking spot felt like the first real sign her game was over. And damn, it felt right. I didn't touch her stuff yet. It was in the closet. Clothes, makeup, her favorite vanilla candles, picture frames of us smiling, her old journal she kept for a bit. Throwing it out felt petty, and I wasn't going to stoop that low. But she wasn't getting back in without a talk, and she'd banned talking herself. I felt this weird calm, like I'd done a tough surgery and was waiting to see if the wound would heal. It hurt, deep down, that betrayal ache. I felt like a fool for trusting her, for planning a future while she planned hers. But anger didn't run me. Logic did. I was protecting my life, my assets, my home. She came back, and the show began. Tuesday, around 9 p.m., I was on the couch, half watching some Netflix detective show, rain drumming outside, classic Seattle. My stomach was in knots since seeing her stories. Then I heard keys jingling, scraping at the lock. Silence. More frantic scraping, then banging. Bam, bam, bam. "Jake, what the hell? Open the door!" Sarah's voice, sharp, pissed, but shaky, like she wasn't expecting this. I took a deep breath, steadied myself, turned off the TV, walked to the door, opened it on the chain so I could see her, but she couldn't barge in. There she was, big suitcase, tanned, in a flowy Hawaiian dress, hair in a messy bun. Her tan made her cheekbones pop, but her eyes were blazing, mixed with uncertainty. She looked fresh off a plane, still trying to act like she owned the place. "My key doesn't work. What's with the lock?" Her voice shook, like she wasn't as confident as she wanted to seem. I stayed calm, almost cold. "Nothing." I changed it. She blinked like she couldn't believe it. "You what?" "Why?" I looked her dead in the eyes, keeping my cool. "You asked for a break, Sarah. I gave you freedom. For good." "What are you even talking about? I just needed time." Her voice got louder, but I saw her confidence cracking. "Saw your stories with Ethan. Looks like you figured yourself out." Her face twisted, irritation to rage with a flicker of panic. "It was just a vacation. Nothing happened, we're friends. She was almost yelling, fists clenched. I raised an eyebrow, not hiding the sarcasm. Friends who take romantic trips while you tell your boyfriend not to text. Got it. Jake, don't be stupid. Let me in. My stuff's in there. And where's my car? Her eyes darted to the empty parking spot where the RAV4 used to be. She froze, eyes wide. Where's my car, Jake? The audacity in her voice was thick, like she had any right to demand after what she pulled. I stayed steady, like a rock. First, this is my apartment. Second, that was never your car. It's mine, legally. I'm selling it. It's at the dealership. Her jaw dropped, eyes huge with shock. You're selling my car? You can't. I paid for it. Her voice hit a shriek. I didn't raise mine. You paid me to use it, Sarah. I'm the owner, sales in progress. That's theft. I'm calling the cops. She yanked out her phone, fingers shaking with rage. I shrugged, cool as ice. Call him. Explain how your boyfriend changed the locks on his apartment after you asked for no contact and took off with your ex. Tell him how he's selling his car, registered in his name. Good luck. She froze, phone to her ear, not dialing. Her glare was venomous, but she knew her threats were empty. She was trapped, and she got it. You're an asshole, Jake. You planned this. Her voice dripped with spite, but I heard the panic. I didn't flinch. You planned a trip with Ethan and told me to shut up. I respected your request and handled the fallout. You don't get to keep me as a backup in my own house. Then a new voice cut in. Her sister, Kate, 25, stepped out of the shadows, probably waiting in a car. Her eyes were blazing. What's going on? Why can't she come in? Sarah flipped on the tears like a pro, turning to Kate. He changed the locks. He's selling my car. He's kicking me out. Kate whirled on me, voice shaking with anger. Are you serious? After everything she's done for you? That's low, Jake. I didn't budge. My apartment, Kate. My car. She asked for a break and ran off with Ethan. Check her Instagram. We're done. She needed a break, and you're punishing her. Kate was practically screaming, face red. Support her cheating. Nah, I'm good. She made her choice. Now she deals with it. I kept my voice steady, like I was closing a book. Sarah started demanding her stuff right then, at 9 p.m. I want my things. Now. Her voice shook with fury. I shook my head. Not tonight. Text me when you want to pick up. I'll have it by the door. You're not stepping inside. You can't dictate. I can. My place, my rules. Wanted a break? This is how we roll now. I shut the door. The lock clicked, loud and final, like a gunshot in the quiet. My hands shook a bit, adrenaline, anger, leftover pain. But mostly, I felt relief. The fight was over, at least for now. They yelled outside for another 5 minutes, Sarah screaming, "He has no right. This is my home. My car." Kate chiming in, "We'll deal with him. This is illegal." But their voices faded, and I heard a car peel out. A couple hours later, a text from Kate. "Sarah's getting her stuff tomorrow, 10 a.m. Be ready." No please, just a demand, like I'm their servant. I texted back, "Fine." Spent the evening packing her stuff. Clothes, makeup, her vanilla candles, picture frames of us, her journal. Found her client notes, Instagram post drafts, even a couple of my old shirts she loved wearing. Each item felt like purging her from my space, like a cleanse. I almost opened her journal to get inside her head, but stopped. Not my story anymore. Stacked it all by the door, feeling the weight lift. Wednesday, I needed a break, so I met my buddy Tom at our favorite brewery in Ballard. He's a straight shooter, college friend, always got a sarcastic edge. I spilled everything. The text, Hawaii, the locks. He listened, sipping his beer, then laughed. "Dude, she really thought she could party with her ex and you'd just wait like a puppy? You handled it like a boss." His words hit like a high five. He added, "Sell the car. Done deal." She played herself. I nodded, feeling I'd made the right call. Thursday, the dealership called. Tony said the car's inspection was done. $16,350 final offer, a bit less for tire wear and minor bumper scratches. I agreed. Friday, I went in, signed the transfer, got the check. The money hit my account, and it felt like closing a brutal chapter. I got home, saw the empty parking spot, and smiled for the first time in a week. It was over. The last week was a wild ride. Sarah and her crew's audacity was next level, like they thought they could guilt me into backing down. At 10 a.m., as planned, a knock. I braced for Sarah, ready for more drama. Nope. Kate and their mom, Linda, a 50-something lady with perfect hair and crocodile tears, stood there. Sarah was in the car, too upset to face me. Linda came out swinging, "Jake, how could you? After 2 years. She loves you, and you're breaking her heart." Her voice quivered, but it was rehearsed, pure theater. I looked at her, stone-faced. Loves me? Not enough to skip a trip with her ex while telling me to shut up, Linda. It was a mistake. She was confused. You should forgive her. And the car? That's cruel. She needs it for work. Her tone was all blame, but I wasn't buying it. It's my car, Linda. Legally. Her confusion was betrayal. Actions have consequences. I opened the door wider, showed the boxes stacked by the entrance. Her stuff's here. Take it. No second trips. Linda huffed, eyes narrowing. We need to check the closets, the bathroom. You might have missed something. I shook my head, blocking the doorway. Nope. Take what's here. I packed everything. You're not coming in. They wanted to push past, maybe snoop for something to pin on me. Kate stepped forward, but I didn't budge. Non-negotiable, I said, my tone shutting it down. They grumbled, but hauled the boxes. 3 trips, each with new jabs. Linda whined non-stop. You're heartless, Jake. Sarah's devastated. You owe her for the car. She poured her soul into it. Kate piled on. You're just bitter because she wanted freedom. I didn't argue, just repeated, my car. She ended the relationship. Like a broken record, but it worked. They were pissed but powerless. After they left, the real attack started. Sarah flooded my phone with texts, long messy ones, flipping between begging and threats. Jake, I'm sorry. I messed up. I love you. Let's start over. I was stressed. I needed a break. Then, an hour later, you owe me for the car. Those were my payments. I'll sue. You won't get away with this. The emotional stuff I ignored. Pure noise, her trying to claw back control. The threats got one reply, short and sweet. Sarah, the car's legally mine. Your payments were for use, like rent. Done. Then I blocked her number, blocked Kate, blocked Linda. But it didn't stop. Mutual friends, mostly her crowd, started texting and calling. Heard what you did to Sarah. That's low. Sold her car? Cold man, wrote some dude. Brandon, I'd met twice at parties. How could you kick her out? She loved you, texted her friend Emily, always a drama queen. Sarah was playing the victim card, hard, spinning a story where I'm the villain who stole her life, conveniently leaving out her Hawaii fling. I explained to a few I thought were reasonable, showed her don't text message, her stories with Ethan, the car docs. Some got it, said, damn, that's rough, but I'd do the same. Others just shrugged, already sold on her tears. One guy, Dan, called to talk man to man. Said Sarah was depressed. I went too far. I told him, Dan, check her stories from last week. Then tell me about depression. He stammered, mumbled, hung up, never called back. Honestly? Screw it. People believe what they want. I wasn't going to justify myself to everyone. My real friends, the ones I had before Sarah, had my back. We hit our favorite brewery in Ballard a few days after the door fight, grabbing craft beers and fish tacos. I laid it all out. The text, Hawaii, the car, the landlord complaint. Tom laughed. She thought she could run off with her ex and you'd just sit there. You handled it like a man. Liz, who knew Sarah, shook her head. I always felt she was playing you. Sorry I didn't say it sooner. Their support was everything. They reminded me who I am, that I deserve better than being someone's backup plan. But then they crossed a line. Got a call from the landlord's office. Anonymous complaint about noise and fights at your place. Yelling. Possible conflicts. Tenants are concerned. My blood ran cold for a second. A calculated backstab. I knew it was Sarah or Kate. Their style. Dirty and manipulative. Luckily, I'm tight with the building manager, Bob, an older guy with a chill smile who always chats when I pay rent. I called him, laid it out. My ex, not on the lease, moved out after a breakup. Short argument at the door when she found out about the new locks, after she took off with another guy. Her family picked up her stuff, some yelling outside. Apartment's been quiet. No issues. Bob listened, chuckled. Got it. No new complaints or proof. This goes nowhere. Don't sweat it. I thanked him, but I was fuming inside. That was a low blow, trying to mess with my home. The final jab, Ethan sent me an Instagram message. Didn't even open it. Deleted. Blocked. Didn't need his gloating or their drama. Pictured him smirking, thinking he won. Don't care. He's a bit player in this mess. All their stunts, threats, manipulation, audacity just cemented my choice. This wasn't just Sarah's mistake. It's who she is. And her family, Linda and Kate, are just as bad, fanning the flames, thinking they could guilt me into folding. Revenge. It wasn't loud or dramatic. It was quiet, calculated, like a chess game where I planned every move. Apartment secure, lease in my name. Landlord complaint fizzled, like I knew it would. Cars sold, money's mine. Legally I'm untouchable, confirmed by a lawyer. Her stuff's gone, communications cut. If they try more threats, I've got all the texts and docs saved. Their attempts to bully me, play victim, mess with my home. It's not just disappointing. It's eye-opening, showing how far they'll go to claw Sarah back to the comfy life she trashed herself. They thought they could intimidate me, guilt me, rewind the clock. Not happening. I'm not their puppet. Now I'm focusing on me, cleaning up emotionally, rebuilding. It sucks realizing the person you shared a home, bed, and dreams with could betray you like that. Some nights I couldn't sleep, replaying every moment, wondering how I was so blind. But better now than years later, when the stakes could have been higher. 2 months since Sarah's break with Ethan. Things have settled, mostly because I refused to get sucked into their drama. The harassment didn't last long, but came hard. Lost a couple shallow mutual friends who bought Sarah's sob story. She's been telling everyone I kicked her out and stole her car, skipping the part about her Hawaii fling. Dan called once, saying she's depressed, and I went too far. Told him to check her stories. He didn't call back. My real friends had my back. Hit the Ballard Brewery again, grabbed beers and tacos. Told them about the text, Hawaii, the car, the landlord stunt. Tom laughed. She thought you'd wait like a dog while she partied. You're a legend, Liz said. I knew she was shady. Sorry I didn't warn you. Their support kept me grounded, reminded me I'm worth more than a fallback guy. Sarah tried the legal route. Got a letter from some sketchy lawyer demanding $10,000 for her car contributions and emotional distress. It was so sloppy. Typos, legal nonsense. I almost laughed. My lawyer sent a tight response. Car docs, loan, insurance, all in my name. Her payments were for use, like rent. Threw in a bluff. She might owe me for mileage. Attached her "don't text" message and Ethan's stories, all time-stamped. Warned that further harassment would mean a countersuit with legal fees. Radio silence. After that. Her lawyer probably told her she had no shot. Real court's too pricey for her, especially without my wallet. Heard through the grapevine she stayed with Kate for a bit, but got kicked out after expecting a free ride. Kate told her, "I'm not your mom. Figure it out." Ethan? Ghosted her post-Hawaii. Wanted the fun, not the baggage. She's back in her Oregon hometown, living with her parents, whining about how I ruined her life. Posts vague Instagram rants about toxic people stealing her dreams. Her likes are drying up. People are over her victim act. Zero self-reflection, just pure shameless audacity. Almost impressive. The best part? Silence. No texts, no demands, no Sarah. My apartment feels like mine again. Repainted the living room deep blue. She hated anything but neutral beige. Ditched her floral pillow couch for a sleek new one. Got a new coffee table, hung some art from a Fremont fair. Reclaiming my space feels like breathing free after choking for months. Started hitting the gym again. She used to gripe I was too focused on myself. Now I'm all about me, and it feels damn good. Revenge wasn't loud. It was a chess game I played to win. Respected her break, gave her consequences she didn't see coming. Wanted freedom? Got it, without my support. Chose her ex. She's on her own. Took my home car, life for granted. Lost it all when she broke trust. Selling the car she thought was hers while she partied with Ethan. Yeah, that was sweet. The empty parking spot when she rolled up. A reality check. She didn't just lose a boyfriend. She lost the cushy life she thought was hers, built on my dime. It cost me emotionally, no doubt. Processing betrayal took weeks. Some nights I almost caved to her pleas. But I reminded myself, she chose this. So did I. Sarah thought she could game me, keep me as a safety net while she played. She miscalculated. Her choices caught up, and her audacity didn't save her. Best outcome I could have hoped for. Goodbye, Sarah. I'm moving on, and my life's mine again. So how did your relationships end? Spill your story.